Dual diagnosed. I'm out of Boston, Mass.
All right. And how long you been sober?
16 days.
16. Okay, you're in the right place. Welcome aboard. Are you Irish?
I sure am, my friend.
I can tell by
I
your
don't see
name.
why you won't unmute me. You
Never
could
mind.
really see it.
I can tell by your accent. I can tell by your first name, Jimmy. I'm like Jimmy
Yep.
Boston. He's definitely Irish. Hey,
Yeah,
you're in the right place. Welcome.
Jimmy
Well,
S. Jimmy S.
what? Jimmy S. No, I know. I get it. Welcome aboard. See, Danny, look at that. There's another Irishman in here. He's from Boston, though.
Right
That,
on.
that's
So was my buddy Tom Kelly.
Danny was the only lone Irishman in the whole meeting for the longest time. Finally, someone else showed up. From I don't know. Anyways, we have Father Terry Ryan that comes here. He's so Irish you can't like. Geez, he has to mention it every meeting. All right, Matt, if you would like to start reading, and is this Jesse just showed up here? And I gotta see if this is Jesse. And then if you put everything up to read, you guys look in chat. Sam's putting up everything to read, and Matt is going to do the reading. And here we go. Oh, you can turn your video on now too. Let me see if I can get this done. All right, you guys can turn on your video. All right. Hey, before you do that, is this Jesse from Georgia by chance or not? Jan to Jesse. No. Hey, Jesse. Oh, where is he? Nope, not her. Where are you calling from there, Jesse? And how long you been sober? You're muted. Okay, forget about it. Go ahead,
Almost
Matt.
2 years.
You're 2 years sober?
Almost. In
And-
February
And
10th.
where are you calling from?
Longmont, Colorado.
Longmont, Colorado. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Matt. Start reading, and Sam, you can change her name. There we go. Is Matt still here? Did he leave?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm ready. Okay. Mad Alcoholic, welcome to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. If you're new to AA or coming back, this meeting is for you. This group is exactly what the name says, a workshop. We read 5 AA books, work the steps, sponsor you, and give reading and writing assignments. We'll teach you an AA program. We move right along here and people get well here. Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop is a step workshop. Unlike most AA meetings, it's not a speaker's meeting nor a discussion meeting. It's more like an AA class, AA 101. You want to have the attitude of learning, do the assigned reading and writing on the steps. We'll take you through the steps in the AA books in short order. So if you're looking for guidance and direction in an AA program, this meeting's for you. Security for Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. We use the waiting room. When you come in, we ask your first name, last initial, country or city, and how long you've been sober. We have chat turned off. You can chat with the host or co-host. Unmute is turned off. Cameras and pictures are turned off at the beginning of each meeting. We turn them on later. We don't exchange phone numbers. You can get the number of the host for text and support. Here is our email for meeting confirmation, stepworkshop1@gmail.com. And this is good for school, class, work, probation, court orders, etc. And there's a link to the meeting in chat. We do all of the above for safety reasons since everyone is new here and we want to protect you. Zoom bombers try to get in and the above eliminates them. You'll notice this is a step workshop, not a speakers or discussion meeting. It's like a class, AA 101, AA University. It's a very unique meeting since we use the same principles AA used between 1932 and 1939. Everybody works in the group and moves through the 12 steps to live our lives free from alcohol and learn a new way of living. Glad you could make it. Announcements. AA in this meeting is supported by our own contributions to Seven Traditions. You can make donations to @Jann-Scott and Venmo, or if you're using the Cash App, it's Jack Fox 111999. Contributions go to pay for Zoom, and we make monthly donations to Boulder 1 AA and Boulder County AA. We spend about $250 a month. This group meets daily with the following formats. Monday step meeting, 12 and 12, mean Monday. Tuesday, Big Book, T-shirt Tuesday, AA inspired as preferred. Wednesday, as Bill sees it, Sunglass Wednesday. Thursday, Came to Believe, Dog Thursday. Friday's open, the chair picks the topic, and it's Cat Friday. Saturday, Living Sober, Virtual Background Day, and Sunday, Daily Reflections, Fashion Sunday. Please join me in the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. AA Preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We're self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, and does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. There's a link to the newcomers packet in chat. And for newcomers, please come to our meeting for 5 days and see how you like it. Then we'll put you to work. Please introduce yourself as an alcoholic when speaking. Back to you, Jann, in the studio.
Hey, thank you. Okay, so hi, everybody. Welcome to Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop. I'm Jann, alcoholic. So I have a question here. So today's Saturday. We read from Living Sober, and where did we leave off last week? Who knows? Raise your hand.
Jeff Alcoholic, yeah, page 62, getting out of the if trap.
Okay, and Lori's shaking her head. Okay, so let's write that up there. See on page 62, getting out of the if trap, and a link to the reading, please put it up. And then who has the book in their hand? Oh, Jeff's pages are going to be a little bit different than everybody else's. So Lori, you want to start reading? Go ahead. And raise your hand if you happen to have the book. There you go. Stacy's got the book. Lori's got
I'm Lori. I'm an alcoholic. Reading from Living Sober. This is number 25, getting out of the if trap. Emotional entanglements with people are not the only way we can get our sobriety dangerously hooked to something extraneous. Some of us have had a tendency to put other conditions on our sobriety without intending to. One AA member says, "We drunks are very iffy people." During our drinking days, we were often full of ifs as well as liquor. A lot of our daydreams started out if only, and we were continually saying to ourselves that we wouldn't have gotten drunk if something or other hadn't happened, or that we wouldn't have any drinking problem at all, if only. We followed up that last if with our own explanations, excuses for our drinking. Each of us thought, "I wouldn't be drinking this way. If it wasn't for my wife or husband or lover, if I had just more money and not so many debts, if it wasn't for all these family problems, if I wasn't under so much pressure, if I had a better job or a better place to live, if people understood me, if the state of the world wasn't so lousy, if human beings were kinder, more considerate, more honest, if everybody else didn't expect me to drink, if it wasn't for the war, any war, and on and on and on."
Okay, stop right there. Would you read the italics down at the bottom?
Some of us AAs refer to ourselves as drunks, no matter how long we've been sober. Others prefer alcoholics. There are good reasons for both terms. Drunks is lighthearted, tends to keep the ego down to size, and reminds us of our proneness to drinking. Alcoholics is equally honest, but more dignified and more in keeping with the now widely accepted idea that alcoholism is a perfectly respectable illness, not just willful self-indulgence.
Okay,
Thanks.
you're next, Rebecca. Go ahead.
When we first stopped drinking, a lot of these
No,
circumstances,
you're reading it. You're reading looking back.
looking back at this kind of thinking,
Okay,
and our,
just a second. You want to introduce yourself, please?
yeah, sorry, Rebecca, alcoholic. Looking back at this kind of thinking and our resultant behavior, we see now that we were really letting circumstances outside ourselves control much of our lives. When we first stopped drinking, a lot of those circumstances recede to their proper places in our minds. At the personal level, many of them really clear up as soon as we start staying sober, and we begin to see what we may be able to do about the others someday. Meanwhile, our life is as much better sober, no matter what else may be going on. But then, after sober a while, for some of us, there comes a time when plop, a new discovery slaps us in the face. That same old iffy thinking habit of our drinking days has, without our seeing it, attached itself to not drinking. Unconsciously, we have placed conditions on our sobriety. We have begun to think sobriety is just fine if everything else goes well, or if nothing goes wrong. In effect, we are ignoring the biochemical, unchangeable nature of our ailment. Alcoholism respects no ifs. It does not go away, not for a week, for a day, or even an hour, leaving us non-alcoholic and able to drink again on some special occasions or for some extraordinary reason, not even if it's a once-in-a-lifetime celebration, or if a big sorrow hits us, or if it rains in Spain, or the stars fall in Alabama. Alcoholism is for us unconditional, with no dispensations available at any price. It may take a little while to get that knowledge into the marrow of our bones, and we sometimes do not recognize the conditions we have unconsciously attached to our recovery until something goes wrong, through no fault of ours. Then, whammy, there it is. We had not counted on this happening. The thought of a
Stop
drink.
right there. Okay, go ahead, Sam, you're up.
Thank you. Sam, grateful alcoholic from Virginia. There we go.
A thought of a drink.
Yeah, I see it. The thought of a drink is natural in the face of a shocking disappointment. If we don't get the raise, promotion, or job we counted on, or if our love life goes awry, or if somebody mistreats us, then we can see that maybe all along we have been banking on circumstances to help us want to stay sober. Somewhere buried in the hidden convulsion of our gray matter, we had a tiny reservation, a condition on our sobriety. It was just waiting to pounce. We were going along thinking, yep, sobriety is great, and I tend to keep it at it. We didn't even hear the whispered reservation. That is, if everything goes my way. Those ifs we cannot afford. We have to stay sober no matter how life treats us, no matter whether non-alcoholics appreciate our sobriety or not. We have to keep our sobriety independent of everything else, not entangled with any people, not hedged in by any possible cop-outs or conditions. Over and over, we have found we cannot stay sober long just for the sake of wife, husband, children, lover, parents, other relative, or friend, nor for the sake of a job, nor to please a boss, or doctor, or judge, or creditor, not for anyone other than ourselves. Tying up our sobriety to any person, even another recovered alcoholic, or any circumstance is foolish and dangerous. When we think, I'll stay sober if, or I won't drink because of, fill in any circumstance other than our own desire to be well for health's own sake, we unwittingly set ourselves up to drink when the condition or person or circumstance changes. And any of these may change at any moment. Independent, unaffiliated with anything else, our sobriety can grow strong enough to enable us to cope with anything and everybody. And as you'll see, we start liking that feeling too.
Okay.
John?
In the studio. Good. All right. Now listen. Let's see where we are here and where everybody is. So let me see. Sarah, where did we leave off with you?
I was working on step 4.
So you're working on step 4 right now? All right,
Yep.
good. And then let's see, hang on for a minute. Who else is? Raise your hand if we have you, if you're in a step group right now, working on something. Danny, you're there. Where are you? Are you actually writing on your step 4 right now, Danny?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
put another one in today.
Okay, who else is doing that? Autumn, where are you at?
Lydia.
I'm on step 4.
Okay, so you're writing on step 4 right now. Okay, good. Lydia, is she not? I don't think she's here, is she? Let me see. Ryan, where are you?
I'm done with step 3 and should be starting step 4.
Okay, good. Okay, did you get the instructions on step 4?
Not yet.
Okay, good. This is in here. That was someplace. Okay, well, let's do this. We'll make this really simple. So Sam, we're gonna move you and everybody we just talked to into the step 4 room right now. And then Ryan, you need to catch up. Get the hell going. So Sam, can you move you guys, do you guys know how to get into the breakout room yourself? You just click on the 4 boxes on the bottom. It says like 24 boxes, and then move yourself into, so like Autumn here, move yourself into step 4. There she goes. Danny, I'll move you in there. Danny into step 4. Oops. Where the hell did it go? Are you moving people?
Yeah, I've
Sam,
been
or-
moving. You asked me to.
Okay, well, go ahead into step 4 room yourself. Do it. Who the hell else is supposed to be in there? Manny, where are you at? What are you working on?
I'm on step 2 at the moment.
Okay, have you finished writing step 2?
Yeah, I just finished it.
You just finished it. Okay. So, I'm gonna put you in the step 3 room with with Rebecca. So Rebecca, you know how to give instructions on step 3, right? Talk to me.
Yes.
Okay, so you go through pages 60 through 63. They have to have a spiritual experience. So you and Manny go into the step 3 room. Isn't this fun? There's Rebecca and Manny goes into step 3 room, Manny. Okay, now, who else? Do we have anybody else here that's supposed to be in they're supposed to be in the step 4 room? Oh, Manny, Manny, can you get into step 3? There he goes. Okay, good. Try Jesse. Efren, you need to go into step 9. Joe, let me ask you something here, Joe. I'm gonna make you a co-host. So you know how to give the instructions for step 9, 8, and 9, right? Unmute, talk to me.
I have never given the instructions. I don't know where they are.
Well, you and I went through it because I beat you up with them, right?
Well, you beat me up with them, but offhand, I
beat
don't
you up with
remember
everything.
the instructions.
It's pages 76 through 84, step 8 and 9.
Okay.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you go into step 8 and 9. You read the whole section with him and go over it and explain to him how to make a list of people he needs to make amends to and how to write an amends letter. You know how to do that?
Yes. Do you want me to? Okay. Yes.
I want you to do it right now. I want you to get in there and save his life.
Okay.
Wait a minute, where's Manny? Did he go? Not Manny, but what's his name? Efren, where are you? Efren, where are you? Hey, and what's her name here? I'm gonna make you a co-host too. Lori, you're gonna go in there and help him. All right? Is he already there?
Where am I going? In the step 8?
8 and 9 room.
Got it.
Get in there, and Joe, get in there and help.
Okay.
Get in there. It's like the Marines in here. What the hell kind of meeting is this? What you people are like, I can't believe it. Do you know how to get in there, Lori?
And looking for the, oh, I got it. Okay.
Okay. And you should be in step. There you go. And there you go. Okay. Now let me see here. now we have, okay, I saved you. Okay, so so then Jeff, we're gonna have you go into the sober up room, and let me look at all the new people here before we go in there. So you're gonna go in with, hang on for a minute. Son of a bitch. Pardon me. Before you go, don't go yet. I don't need to go in there because I have 47 years. Daryl slipping and sliding. We only got one person. What the Jesse and Longmont. You know what we're gonna do? The hell with it, Jeff, we're gonna stay right here. All right, so I'm Jann, alcoholic. A couple things here. So one of the things that
Was
that I
I'm
had
sorry.
to,
This is Sarah. I'm supposed to go into 8 and 9.
oh, are you? Well, you're supposed to get the instructions on 8 and 9.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go in there?
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm glad you
That's
told me.
okay.
How did you get unmuted? Or have you been all along? Okay, so can you move yourself into 8 and 9? She did it. Okay. All right, Jeff. Here's the story. I started coming to AA meetings in 1975. It was in the winter, February 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th. And I had been in Talagi's bar up on the hill, and it was 8, 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday night, and they asked me to leave because I was standing on top of a table screaming. Over to me, the bartender, and he said, Jenny said, you have to get out of here. You can't stay here. And I said, well, why is that? And he said, you're too drunk to be in here. And I looked at him and I said, well, I have problems. And he said, well, you may, but you're too drunk and too out of control to be in this bar. And you have to leave. And I said, yeah, but the band hasn't even started playing. There was nobody in the bar. 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, things didn't get going until 10 or 11. I was already wasted. And he just says, well, you can't stay here. So I went home and I had a bottle there, which I usually never did because only alcoholics drank at home. And I was a bar drinker. But anyway, so something told me to call Alcoholics Anonymous, and I did. And a guy by the name of Bill answered the phone. The answering service answered it. Back then they had answering services, and the answering service answered it, and they connected me with trunk lines to a guy named Bill. And he told me a little bit about himself and told me that there was a meeting tomorrow here in Boulder at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And so he told me I should go. And I told him I thought I was an alcoholic. And so I went to that meeting. And there were 5 people in there, a young woman who was 26 chairing the meeting. She was a lawyer. I was 28 and I was a newspaper reporter that had just been fired. I got another job, and she told this story, which was just like mine. Could not put down the drink, could not quit. Once she started drinking, she kept going. And that was me. And I thought, well, she doesn't look like an alcoholic. She looks like a regular girl. And I thought, well, this must be the place for me. And so I have been coming back to Alcoholics Anonymous ever since. It was on February 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 1975. I never stopped coming. One of the problems that I had was, and I saw it at my very first meeting, was when I pick up a drink. The other thing was, I really felt like It's like afterwards, I just didn't feel great. And so I kept going. It did take me actually 3 years to get completely sober, to quit. And see, now I gotta change this. I'll change this for you right here. Where is it? Oh my name. I have to change this instant. So that's in a nutshell, that's kind of my AA story. But what's really important is I had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. One, to get sober completely. Two, I had to stop minimizing. What was that? I'm much sober now. I should be okay. I'm not like some of these people you see out there, but it kept getting worse and worse for me. But you know, and then I had to make an inventory of my drinking. What the hell was going on? What was happening with me? And I was only 28. You know, you'd figure 29. You'd figure I was too young to be here. I had just started drinking, really. Everybody in Boulder drinks. My life is going to be ruined if I can't keep drinking. But I can't, it seems like I can't go to a club or a bar because they throw me out. Or I'm too drunk when I get in there. Or I'll head over to go to a club or a roadhouse or something to listen to some music, dance, whatever, meet girls. And I would be so drunk that I couldn't function. And that was a problem. And then I couldn't hold a job either. And then I couldn't get, and even if I got a job, if I drank the night before, I didn't show up because I was too messed up. So Alcoholics Anonymous became the place for me to go to. And then I finally, it's amazing. I'll tell you one thing. When they say keep coming back, you know, I had to keep coming. I knew I belonged here. I knew I was an alcoholic. I didn't have any place to go. I really didn't have any friends. I mean, I knew people in bars, but I was so drunk in the bars that it's like, you know, what is wrong with me? I was terrified to buy alcohol and bring it at home. I was afraid that I would just drink myself straight into the ground, Jeff. I was terrified to bring it home. And then I switched to drugs. I started going to AA meetings. I started hitting doctor's offices to get prescriptions for Valium, Xanax, Librium, anything to help settle me down. That didn't work either. That made me even sicker. But I had to stop. I had to quit. I had to quit picking up the drink. I had to quit picking up the drink. I had to watch my right hand. I'm right-handed. Because a guy said to me once, he said, you watch your right hand. If you're in a bar and you notice that you pick up the glass, he said, watch that right hand. Try to put it down. I was like, oh no, once I pick up a drink, I'm drinking it. He said, then don't go into the bar. I can't help it. I walk by the bar and I just get sucked right in the door. It's summer, spring. They have the doors open, air conditioning, music's playing. Everybody looks like they're having fun. I just go right in the bar. Okay, then don't walk down that street. Which street? Pearl Street. Okay. So next day, well, I switched over to Walnut, but there are bars on Walnut. So what happened? I went into Walnut. Don't walk on. So I walked Spruce Street. You know what's on Spruce Street, Jeff? More bars. I would go into the bars on Spruce Street. What the AA club was at 13th and Pearl. So, well, how the hell am I supposed to, I have to walk? They said, we'll walk around. Turn left on 15th Street, come up to Pearl, turn left on Pearl, we're one door up. Said that seems to be going an awful long out of the way just to go to an AA meeting, and they're like, yeah. Those are any links. So that's how bad I was in terms of my brain. I'm sure there are other people. Shit out.
Hey, Jen,
So
your
the
audio
topic-
is breaking up.
Again. Am I still breaking up? Okay, here, hang on for a minute. Thank you for telling me that. All right, let's see. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test. All right, how's it now, Stacy? Better?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay, so today's topic is cut that shit out. All right, and then we'll okay, Jeff, over to you.
Jeff, Alcoholic, South Florida. Yeah, with the old playwright song, play song, nice rook if you can get it. Cut that stuff out. I think it doesn't happen, at least with this alcoholic, until what I achieved was the quiet, quiet desperation. I think I achieved quiet desperation and to quit because I couldn't stop. And when I came in, again, I fairly quickly was able to, yes, okay, I'm an alcoholic. But I had ifs. I first of all, I thought, oh yeah, this is okay. I'm going to do this thing. But then, because I saw it work, I saw one guy, when I first went in there, one of my early meetings, and this guy was a total jerk. He was so bad that you said you used to pass out sometime at your section of the bar. You had your own place. This guy, when he came in, they said that you must sit at that seat right down over there, far away from everybody. This is how bad he was, because it didn't matter. And here's this guy sober. He's actually leading meetings, and looking at me kind of, I know this guy from somewhere. No, I think that you have to want to, and you can't have those ifs. The ifs that I had when I first came in were, how am I going to tell people that I don't drink anymore? Like that should, and if it comes to me being embarrassed about saying I'm an alcoholic and picking up a drink or not picking up a drink, what will I do? Well, and what happens if they see me? They're going to miss me from the bar. They're going to say, Jeff, come on in now. Okay, just sit here. And if they just have a glass of soda or have one drink with us, if they do that, what am I going to do? I had these stupid ifs because I hadn't put my sobriety, the absolute most important thing in my life. That came about, but I do think you have to have that gift of quiet desperation, Jan. I really do. Really.
Yeah, as long as we think we can get away with it, that's
Yes.
the danger zone. And then what happens is your mind starts to go, but you don't know that your mind is going. You don't know your mind is going. You think you're fine. And then I had somebody point out to me, said, you look like shit, So if I had long hair and I was skinny and I said, no, it's just my lifestyle. I said, yeah, what, the lifestyle of a walking homeless guy? I'm like, well, I'm not homeless. You look it. You know, I look it. You do. You look like crap. Look at yourself. And that we're standing on Pearl and 17th, looking in a big window. I said, look at you. And I said, well, this is Boulder. I kind of have that look of the wandering existentialist poet. I said, yeah, well,
Yes.
we call that a street person, a wino. Well, I don't drink wine. I said, no, I know you don't. But you will be. I'm like, what? I said, when you run out of money, you'll start drinking Mad Dog 2020 and Wild Irish. I said, no, I'm not. I have gin and tonics. I said, yeah, those days are going to come to an end. And then they said, get out of my store. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. Why? Go to an AA meeting, get sober for 2 weeks, come back and see me. Go to an AA meeting every day, get sober for 2 weeks. I'm like, well, that's rude. I said, yeah, it is. But I'm not gonna watch you die. Butthead. I was like, whoops. Okay, Stacy, cut. The topic for today's meeting is cut that shit out. And the rest of you turn on your cameras. This is not this is a workshop. You're here. We want you present and accounted for. None of this hiding bullshit. No hiding here. Know where you are. All right. There's Joe.
Safety alcoholic.
Hey, how are
So I think my cut my shit out moment was when I got my DUI because I had isolated myself into drinking at home and nobody knew how much I was drinking, even though they thought they did. I was waking up at 5 in the morning, drinking a couple beers before I even took a shower just because I was shaking so bad. I blew a 2.241 at 11:30 a.m. on a Friday at work in the parking lot and got fired. Nobody told me. When my husband came and got me from jail, he had plenty to say, but he didn't tell me to quit drinking. Nobody told me to quit drinking. I just knew that was my moment that I was done with drinking. Nobody told me you have to quit drinking now. A lot of people I know had DUIs. I just knew right then and there I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. I was tired of hiding it. I was tired of feeling like shit. I had just ruined my life, basically, is how I felt at the time. And yeah, I cut that shit out. I said enough is enough. And next day I went to an AA meeting and kept coming back.
And that's it, you're sober 11 months.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes,
That has to be that end point. How about you, Craig? Or Randy, either of you guys? Your end point.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sitting here trying to fix my video. I seem to be sideways. Are you seeing me sideways or?
Yeah, but that's fine. Most of us can't tell.
Okay, I'm right here. I apologize. Craig's
Don't
in the picture.
apologize. You're in an AA meeting. Everything's good.
Okay, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
When did you finally say that's enough?
Well, okay. Just enough is enough, just got tired of saying it, just tired, sick and tired, and nothing ever seems to, nothing was the answer. Alcohol wasn't the answer. Nothing, so I turned to God, man. That's what I did. And because I was screwing everything up, and I figured, well, psychologists can't help you, and nobody can help you. Oh, I'm the only one that can help myself, and obviously I'm not doing a good job. So I turned to my creator and gave everything to him. And he just told me to stop drinking. If you want me to be your creator, then you have to stop drinking. Basically that's the way it was, and I haven't drank ever since. I just, the desire in my heart had to get off of me. I was the problem. I was trying to fix the problems. Well, the problem was me. I have these desires inside, that are just wanting to just take over my life. Loneliness. Okay, answer: get married. You're isolated. get married, or you have problems, really big problems, you know, drink was an answer, getting married, all these things that were just band-aids, because
All
I
right,
was still.
listen, stop right there. Perfect. Joe, when did you finally have enough? You said that's it on this.
Yeah, Joe alcoholic. So when I had enough, I had almost no conception of time. I didn't know a lot of times what day it was. I was hiding bottles from my neighbors and the recycle guy that comes to pick up the recycle bin. Hiding bottles from myself. After I got sober, I found bottles underneath stacks of clothes in closets, and I was hiding from no one but myself.
So, yeah.
I was going on these benders, which was it was odd. In the spring, I had gotten sober for 60 days, just white knuckling it, and then I decided on a rainy day to go get a bottle and drink, and it was off to the races. I caught up on those 60 days, and
Yes.
I just had it really sunk the hook in. I had been a heavy drinker for years, and always could kind of or think that I could control it, but this time was different. So for those 2 or 3 months, I was just, I would make it to work, but only if I absolutely had to, and alcohol became the number one thing, and it was destroying me, and quickly too. I'm surprised that I didn't die of alcohol poisoning by myself. And I woke up, I missed July 4th. I had no idea what happened. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know that it was the 4th of July. And so early morning on the 5th, I found the bottles that I could and dumped them out, threw them away, and got to AA meetings that day.
And you came to my house the next day, huh?
Not the next day. No.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe. Okay. I thought you did. 4th of July or something. All right.
No, I had a rough go of it, going through the detox part of it, the physical withdrawal.
All right. Perfect. Where is so Jesse, what was your ending point where you quit? You said that is enough of this. I can't do it anymore.
Well, Jan, I mean,
Introduce yourself, okay?
my name is Jessie and I'm an alcoholic. And I have been an alcoholic for many years, and my life has been incredibly unmanageable. And I completely did not recognize it. And the unmanageability showed up in the chaos that I had, fighting a custody battle. It was the ex's fault for everything. Like my kids, it was just back and forth, like between states, and courts in North Carolina and here. But the thing is I was drinking, on and off since I was 13. And I didn't see myself as an alcoholic at all. Like, I didn't even see that alcohol was a problem, but I would black out. I would wake up the next day so embarrassed, like, oh shit, what did I do last night? And I'm convinced it has contributed to unbelievable health issues. So I got arrested in 2021 in October after a visit to see my children. And then their dad said my reasoning for drinking was their dad said to me, the kids don't want to talk to you. And I was like, oh, that asshole, he's never going to let the kids talk to me. I said, I had no control over him and whether he let them talk to me or not. And I was like, fuck it, this is bullshit. I'm not doing this. And I was like, I'm going to go get drunk. Went and got drunk at a friend's house. blacked out, I guess, went out for cigarettes, drove over to my ex-boyfriend's house, called him a million times. He called the police, and I wound up getting arrested because I had a gun in my car.
I always love that when they call the police on us. Hey, listen, I'm gonna stop you right there. That's a good jumping off point. Jordan, how about you, Jordan? When did you have enough? When was it the end? This is the end. Jim Morrison wrote a song about that. Jordan.
Hello. I'm Jordan. I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Yep.
I think the end for me was probably like my second or third suicide attempt, and my mom was the one that took my gun from me. And I just like seeing her like that and noticing like the shit that I've put people through in my life, and like how it doesn't only destroy them, but it destroys me at the same time.
Mhm.
And then after that, she psych warded me, and then I was in the hospital for like 10 days, like seizing in and out, like using the bathroom on myself. Like it was a horrible detox. So I didn't really want to go back out after that.
I know. Wow, that's quite an end. Now you have 17 months. How you doing? Any good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Is this your first time here at this meeting?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, welcome aboard. Welcome to Newcomers Slipper Step Workshop. For those of you just joining us, we are talking about when did you finally have enough? Or that's it on this shit. Would you cut that out? Or as Jim Morrison would say, this is the end, my only friend, the end. Joe thinks that's funny. That's not funny. He ends up dying in a bathtub in Paris. God, what's wrong with him? All right. Should we let these other, we're gonna bring back all these other people. Here they come, close all rooms. So I think that'll do it. Coming back in 57 seconds. So how'd you like today's meeting, Jeff?
Oh, Jeff Alcoholics Self-Care, just great.
Yep.
I'm learning a lot. I'm looking, they're telling my story in many cases, you know. I didn't go through, see, the physical problems. I didn't go through the shakes when I quit. I didn't go through, and I could always just keep going the next day. And we're living this whole lie, man. But one thing I haven't mentioned here that I really should, and I'm sure people can resonate. When I started drinking, and I didn't know where it was going to take me to go because I never knew. If I started out drinking high end, I always wound up drinking to the lowest end I could, because if the place was still open or they would serve me or whatever. It's kind of like, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
fortunately, Jeff, we don't serve any drinks in here. You know, but because there's no drinking in this room. All right, so here we are. All right, everybody, we're good, right? So we've come to the end of our time here on Newcomer Slipper Step Workshop, where we will. Hey, let me ask Joe. So, Joe, what were you guys talking about in your breakout room?
We read the pages and discussed in generality the
Steps 8 and 9, right?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so did everybody get the instructions on how to do step 8 and 9?
Yes. Well, they'd been working on them.
Okay, and who were you in that room with?
Efren and
Yeah.
oh my,
I know it was Lori there too.
Sarah Fraser.
Lori, were you helping in there? So Lori,
Oh.
hi, were you able to give everybody the instructions on how to write down step 8 and 9?
Yep, and they asked questions and we answered to the best of our ability with what we did and, you know.
And how you did it, right?
Right.
And what did you talk about what your amend letter looked like?
Yes.
We did say that we needed to forward, they need a sample email to them.
Oh, okay. You guys are going to send sample emails to them? Are you, or am I?
I don't
You
have.
probably should, because I don't have access to any of that.
Okay. All right. So we're on our way. We are on our way, right? With those kids. And who else? Who was this? Rebecca, what was your breakout room about?
I was with Rebecca Alcoholic. I was with Manny and Caitlin doing step 3. So we read 60, 63, and there are a lot.
Did everybody get born again?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of questions, and again, this is the beginning of really living
God
for
come
self.
into the room and set the room on fire? Were you like, oh my God, the room is burning? What?
I tell them that mostly likely won't happen. It happens with some people.
It does. It happened to me.
It
The whole
did.
damn house came on fire. All right. Hey, Rebecca, you want to read the promises? Do you have them there?
Sure.
All right.
Can you give me the page?
Page 83, halfway down.
Thanks.
Good job, you guys. Hey, Sam, how you doing? What were you doing, Sam? Hang on. What were you guys doing in your room?
Step 4.
Oh, step 4, you gave did you get the instructions to that one person that didn't have them?
So yes, I had 2 members that did not have instructions at all that finished step 3 and are moving step 4. Then I had 2 that were already on step 4. Which
Excellent. So everybody's on step 4, working hard. Look at this. We have people on 8 and 9. Step 4, 3. We're rocking. This is like Roadhouse AA.
Okay.
We're not drinking and we're not fighting.
Not yet.
Tell you about.
Rebecca Alcoholic, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity. And we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
All right,
Thank you for letting me.
Here comes the serenity prayer. Goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this meeting's officially over. Those of you who are new and have any questions, you can unmute and ask. Now, and also if you're new and you want to attend this meeting regularly, become part of this group, show up here for 5 days in a row and we will put you to work. We'll give you some reading assignments and writing assignments. This is a workshop, so it's not like a regular discussion AA meeting. It's way different. It's AA class. It's AA University, Jeff. It's Jeff, you know what? We're like a high-speed train. Like we go from 0 to 90. We don't stop for shit. We just keep going.
Yes.
We're on a fast train to glory here.
And we don't, and here in this meeting, you don't make any apologies for doing it. This is it. This is the way we do it. Boom. And
you know what? Martin Luther King's birthday is coming up on Monday. And you know what? Here we go to the mountaintop. We see the promised land. Oh yeah. It's all happening in this meeting. Right, Joe?
I got a question, Randy Alcoholic. Can we get a clarification letter emailed to us for me and Craig?
It's right there. It says he's going to put it up. Newcomers, what is it called? It's called Step Workshop 1 at Gmail. Sam's putting that up. It's Step Workshop 1 at Gmail. Ask for meeting confirmation. So that's right. Martin Luther King's birthday is coming up on Monday. This is where he says, I've been to the promised land. I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. And it's like, and in that step 3, when I felt myself going right up over the horizon when I did that into a new world, a new way of being, and that's really what happened to those people in the 1930s. I mean, they were an early part of the charismatic movement, the evangelical movement in the United States. It had just started. A lady from California had started it. It moved its way into the South, but Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob and those early people of AA, they realized that they were having charismatic healings of alcoholics in that third step. They would have prayer meetings where you would do the third step, and what says, and page 63, where it says, and we were reborn. Did you go over that, Rebecca? And we were reborn. That's the AA born again. Did you explain that to everybody? That's the AA born again experience. It's the conversion from self to God, where God enters into your life and takes over the alcoholism and heals it. That's the miracle of AA. So when you go to AA meetings today and they're talking about this cat, that's not AA. AA is the conversion. Oh, look at Rebecca has dog Thursdays. But AA is the conversion from self to the power of the Holy Spirit healing you. That's why they had an 80% success rate. That's why I'm sober for 47 years. Why? I had to come to Jesus moment. That's what the third step is about. You come to God, He enters into your life, and things change. Now, that doesn't mean that we're cured. And it doesn't mean that, well, I'm good now, I can go to, well, whatever. Some people do. They actually leave AA, go to church, stay sober. But an awful lot of people don't, which is, it's a risky place to. Alcohol.
Jeff, alcoholic? If I might comment on it, yes, I hear you. And I realize if we're doing the steps and reading the big book, we see that they're not asking us to quit thinking. You know, it says right in the big book, God gave us brains to use, but we get the booze out of our system, and we, through the steps, then prayer, meditation, all that, we make the best thoughts we can, take action or don't take action on something, and turn the result over, turn it over.
I have a question. Who has had a born again experience through doing this? So what? Yeah, you have. Do you have your hand up too there, Joe? No, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, see, tell us like in 30 seconds, Joe, and then you, Sam.
Yeah, so it was some people call it a spiritual awakening, but it was a visitation the morning of July 5th of 2022. That was my last warning, and that's what I refer to, anytime I even think about drinking, is that special experience that it's very hard to put words to.
Sam, how about you?
Yeah, Sam, grateful alcoholic over here. For me, so for a very long time, I was a cynic. I grew up in a religious household. I did believe in God, but I saw God as like a vengeful, like gotcha God. You sinned, you're going to hell. But then I became closer to that God when I like really accepted the program, because I just felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. It was never like a one-time thing. It was just almost like an ease. Like, it was more like, hey, I got you. Like I've just been falling perpetually for my entire life, essentially. And somebody came along, or something, our being, God, came along and gradually caught me and slowed my descent. And ever since, I've just felt cradled.
Beautiful. Who else? Who else had the big experience? Rebecca, you had something, didn't you? What happened to you?
Yeah, again, it wasn't like all of a sudden the lightning struck, or a burning bush, as Bill had it in the hospital. But again, like Sam said, it's an ease into a thing, and able to handle situations which I could never handle before, because I've turned it over to my higher power. And they're with me. He's with me.
I got DoorDash.
What'd you get?
Yeah,
pizza?
What about you, Sarah? You and God.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
well,
had spiritual experiences and then drank again.
Yeah.
I think since I've been sober for 7 days, one of my issues with sobering up is like I began to be like the other person who'd be like, I'm not gonna drink ever again.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that other person is looking at you like, yeah, right. And
Oh,
so I was really doubting myself and trying to figure out how to stop that cycle. And I
I will
decided,
tell you something, just so that you know, Sarah, you are in the meeting of all meetings.
well, that's what I was gonna say. I decided to go to a meeting and I was like, I'd heard that you should do the steps, but I had really never, like, even in doing, like, trying to do the steps, it's like, I never met a group or a sponsor who had something to do for step 1 or step 2 or step 3. Well, there wasn't anything to do until step 4, and they would sometimes say you're not ready to start the steps or whatever. So then I heard like people say, no, you get right into the steps, but then even those groups, we weren't really doing anything but talking about them.
Exactly. That's why we started this meeting.
So in that first step thing, I was really like, it didn't feel good. So I don't know if a higher power hitting you has to feel good, but it really felt like it penetrated, and I was
Where
like,
are you now? Did you just do step 3?
I'm 4.
Okay, you're in 4. Okay. It's gonna come. You just stick with, don't stop coming, okay, here. Do not stop coming. And it's gonna, you look better, I'll tell you one thing. In 7
Yeah,
days, you
Rosie.
look a whole lot better. You
Yeah,
must have taken a
you
shower.
Thanks.
All right, now I'm
You're
getting
welcome.
hungry. What are you eating?
These are cream cheese wontons.
Oh,
She's one time.
don't you know
I
you're not
know.
supposed to eat good things in front of other people?
Is that right?
good way to,
You know, but I'm
good way to
sorry.
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly.
Actually, there's quite a bit here. Mm. I'm trying not to
That's
get this
pretty
all
good.
over my all over
I
my.
got you. We'll make you
Well,
some
this is very cool. You guys are great. What a crew, huh? What do you think? Yeah. I mean, this is a meeting where dreams come true, people's lives get saved. Really is. You know, we've done this. Actually, I've done this kind of meeting for 20 years. But whenever I've sponsored people and we've done this process the way we're doing it, everybody gets well. This is like, this particular meeting has the highest success rate, Jeff, of any meeting I've ever been to.
Believe it.
I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. I gotta go. This is
All right.
Jessie. I'm
Okay.
an alcoholic. And I also, I mean, I go